Hi everyone, it's Diane back with another card for you today. So happy Monday! Thanks for tuning in here and doing some paper crafting with me. I am actually setting this up to do a Christmas card for one of my workshops that's upcoming. But as I've tried to encourage people so many times, you don't necessarily have to use your stamps and dies and stuff in the manner that, is demonstrated to you. So, although I'm going to use this for a Christmas card, today I'm going to use the same technique and layout, but I'm going to use it to make a get well card because I'm going to need one of these here. So, what I really want to share with you is how I'm setting this up. So this is Hero Arts layering stamps. And oh, I thought the name of it was on the front. It is we can tell it's a Cardinal, but I'm sure there's a name to it. Oh, color layering Cardinal. And I did check, and on scrapbook.com there were still some of these in stock, so I'm going to link that below. There are coordinating dies that go with that. And there are 9 dies in here that cut out the branches and the bird and the his little feet, some flowers. Yeah, so I thought instead of just always saying, you don't have to make this into a Christmas card if you don't want to, I'm going to show you I'm not going to make it into a Christmas card. But for my class, we will. So what I've done, because this is a layering stamp set, and on the back of the packaging, Hero Arts shows you the order in which to stamp. So if you stamp with a pale red, and then a darker red, and then your deepest red, and then of course black for the little detail around the beak, and his feet. But I did his feet separate because when we go to make the Christmas one, he's probably going to be in pine branches. Today we're going to put him in some little cherry blossom branch, but I don't know if we'll be able to see his feet. Even in their sample, his feet aren't on there. So anyways, I didn't stamp him when I did the rest of the bird image. Because I know that I'm going to need this for, oh, my magnets are sticking to my dies over there, for maybe like 10 to 14 people, and I'm afraid that's going to make my Stamparatus wobble. This is what I want to show you. So I'm using my Stamparatus, and if you have a MISTI or another positioning stamp positioning tool, I guess I should call it, then, that's what you should use. And what I've done was taken a piece of just basic white cardstock with a little bit of dog hair in there, it looks like. That'll be really pretty for everybody, huh? And I cut the Cardinal using the coordinating die out of the center of it. I lined it up on my Stamparatus, and then I put my Cardinal back in here, and actually this was my first one. I put him back in there like a puzzle piece. And I say my first one because I played around with some colors. And then, I guess I didn't put these back yet. I lined up my stamps and decided on what colors I wanted to use them. After I figured out what colors I wanted to use, I decided that there are 4 stamping sessions, I guess. You're going to stamp 4 times to create this bird. Now to do that for 10 to 12 people, I want to make it easy. So what I've done is, I know my first stamp I'm going to do in my palest red, and I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. So I put my first stamp on my tray, and I labeled it number 1, and I said what color that would be done in. Then my second stamp, oh, I'm going to try not to hit you in the head here because I didn't flip it around. My second one, I layered it up with Poppy Parade, and that Actually, yeah, I did Poppy Parade for both of them. Okay. So I've layered my tray, that this is the second stamp they'll use, and they're going to use Poppy Parade. And when they're done, they're going to flip this over, and we have the third stamp, the detailed stamp, that they will stamp in real red. This one was done in Mary Merlot, and I felt like it was too dark. And so when I tried a second one and I tried real red, I liked it much better. So the third stamp will be in real red. And then their fourth stamp is on the opposite side. And this is the one nice thing about a Stamparatus. Even I'm not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator anymore, but I will say that I enjoy this. So my fourth one is going to be the beak and the area around the eye that will stamp in black. And it's on the back side of this. So all everybody has to do is flip the door around, and they'll be ready to just stamp the next color. Okay, so let's give it a try. I don't even know what I got sticky on my hands. Do I want to know? Probably not. And then we'll work on a base. Okay. So, I guess I need to put a blank in here first. So everybody will have a blank cardinal, and they'll put it into this little puzzle piece. Now there are magnets that hold the paper down, but I figured it probably is a better idea just to have this whole template taped down, since it's going to be getting passed around so many times. And we'll start off with some Flirty Flamingo, and just like we're using our regular stamps and acrylic blocks, we're going to tap, tap, tap. And I got a little bit of ink on the door, so I'm going to wipe that off. Then I'm going to close that in on my cardinal blank. Stamp him with a Flirty Flamingo. Now, almost every single time I've done this, my bird has come off with a stamp, but that's okay because it's in the positioner, and I can lay it right back in my template, and he's in the right spot. Wipe that one off and go on to stamp number 2. Number 2 tells me I should use Poppy Parade. So how's everybody doing? We are having exceptionally lovely weather. It is in the 70s. We've had a little bit of rain. It's a little eerie because, and I don't know what year it was, but it was on Veterans Day, and we had lovely weather like this, and all of a sudden it turned into a tornado. Yeah, so we had a tornado go down our road and wipe several houses out. One man lost his life, and a lot of the neighborhood had to be rebuilt. So I'm pretty sure I probably have one son that's fretting a little bit through this weather. All right, there's 2. Now, stamp number 3 is on the back of this, so I'm going to flip my door around. It says to use real red. Tap, tap, tap. I don't know how I keep getting ink on there, but I do. Close that on my cardinal and give it a nice press. Back in his little puzzle piece. In there, buddy. You're not quite done. Almost, but not quite. And then stamp number 4, which is on the opposite side of our first stamp, will be done in black. So although there's a lot of moving around of these, it's actually quite easy because everything's lined up. And close stamp 4. And look at that. We have a cardinal. I didn't get the top part around his eye very well, did I? I will just do that with a little marker. She's says, if she can remember where she just put all of her pens, like, oh, there. I was going to say, like, yesterday. Yep, I didn't get that part up around the eye, so that's okay. We'll just add it in. Ta-da! All done. Guess I better throw a black marker in with the supplies for this one in case that happens. And there we have a really pretty Cardinal. Isn't he cute? Now I know that I also have the Cardinal in Stampin' Up's design, and I know there are other Cardinals out there, so if you don't have the Hero Arts one, or you can't get it because I know they're low in stock on whatever I just said, scrapbook.com I think it was. I want to lose my magnets here to my, there we go. Yeah, so you should be able to find another one if you can't get one from there. Like if my millions of viewers all decide to run over to scrapbook.com and buy that, I don't think you have a problem there. No worries. I'm going to use a piece of crumb cake as my layering panel. And I have used the coordinating dies from this set. And I cut out 2 of the branches. I cut out the large one and the little tiny one. I also, as I said, cut out his little feet. Come here. So we can add those if we need to. I don't know how it's going to look on the branch yet. And then I also used the die and I cut out several of these little flowers. Can you tell these are on the back of paint samples? I just thought it kind of looked all right with the Cardinals, so. And I'm trying to use scraps. You know, here, actually it was called Peony, and it's Martha Stewart Living color. Yeah, it came out kind of pretty. I'm going to put this on a card base of Poppy Parade. That is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that is cut in half and scored and folded to be a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base. My crumb cake is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I think I want to emboss this. And I want to use the Painted Texture embossing folder. I don't know why, I just do. But before I do that, I wanted to stamp some more branch behind here. I didn't want to just stick on these couple of pieces of brown and say that's a branch. I could, but because I have the stuff here, I just thought that I would add more branches. And these also are layering stamps. Where's my long one? One thing that I am a little confused about. When I look at their sample, their branch goes up in the air and the Cardinal is facing to the right. If I stamp this, my branch is going to go down unless I turn it this way, in which case it'll have to be on the other side. So I'm not quite sure how they did that. But I even turned those upside down thinking that's how I was going to have to do it. Or is it this way? Does it go down that way? And this one maybe goes up. Oh, there you go, you silly goose. Jeez, I guess they know what they're doing after all. Right? So I just grabbed out my crumb cake ink. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I looked at that before I stamped. Because what I want to do is just make my branch down this way. Then the little one, I guess right about there. Huh? Why not? Then I don't know if I'm going to use the die cut ones because I wanted to add some leaves too. I might not use those die cuts on this one. I might just use my stamp. Kind of pretty. Okay. There are leaves in the stamp set, so that's not really a worry. A big leaf and a small one. And I pulled Mossy Meadow out so that I could add some leaves to that. That's for the inside of the flower. Don't want to lose that little baby. It's little. So let's just add a couple of leaves to, ooh, my Mossy Meadow I think needs re-inked. I don't know why. I just got concentrating there and sort of forgot that I had company. Sorry. Put my branches back here now too so I don't lose them. It's a problem with some of the small stamps. If I don't put them away right away, I'm afraid that they will just get lost in the shuffle. Oh yeah, so I have 3 of the cards all designed for our Christmas workshop. I have 2 of the card designs all cut out for everybody. Okay, so I don't know how many of these little flowers I'm going to use. So I'm just going to put a center in each one of them, and I'm going to use that Poppy Parade. No, I'm not. I'm using Flirty Flamingo in the middle of those. I'm just going to use Poppy Parade for my greeting. And I'm just going to add a little center to these, and then we're going to give them some dimension too in a minute. But if we get these on here, we can dry emboss our panel. Just stamping a little center in each one of those. Those are cute. And if you don't have this set, again, I'm sure you have little flower sets or even that little, oh, what was that little punch from years ago? It made just little tiny flowers, and you can actually layer them up. So any little pose you have will work. I do like the font on here too. I like the peace, love, and joy. It's not necessarily what I had planned on using, but I do like that. Okay, emboss. Okay, set all those little pieces aside for a minute. And get our embossing folder. Give it a little texture background there. And if you like, you can spritz your cardstock panel with a little bit of water there. I wouldn't spritz it too much because we do have ink on there from stamping. And let me see, this is a 3D one, which means this embossing folder is a little thicker. And I only want to use my one, nope, not that one. I'm going to use my blue. My blue plate. My blue plate special. Where are you? But you may have to adjust this to what your cut and emboss machine uses. My nose is so itchy right now, and I get it. Oh, that means you're going to kiss a fool, right? Uh-oh. Oh, that's cute. I'm kind of glad I did that. Can you see the little texture I put in the background? Yeah. Okay. Those out of the way. And where'd my card base go? Anybody see where I put that? No. There it is. Make sure it opens the right way. I think I'm going to use, since I just embossed that before I stamped my greeting on there, which was kind of silly. Ooh, the ink stayed a little wet on, because that's, yeah, it's not cardstock, that was that, paint sample. Well, yeah, so not everything has to be done only Christmas-wise. We can use our stamp sets for both occasions. Ooh, that's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so let's think what we're going to do for our greeting here. This is a rubber cottage set. I got this at the that stamp tour that I went to. I'm trying to decide which one I want to put on the front. I think I'll do sorry to hear you're under the weather, and then I can put my little message on the inside and write a note. No, come on, you can do it. You can do it. So let's just grab another piece of, do I want to do a piece of the Poppy Parade, or do I want to use a piece of crumb cake? Well, that might work, huh? That part is, when you get these stamp sets sometimes, as mine is, they don't have that image on the back so that you can tell what you're stamping. So I'm trying to line my font up on one of the grid lines of my acrylic block. Let's see how that does with just our Memento black ink. And maybe we'll just do a little Poppy Parade flag reading up there. Well, that's a horrible stamping. Oh, maybe I should have used my mat. Or maybe I should have looked at my stamp to see if I had ink on it. Well, that would have probably been a good thing, right? Looks better. It's just hard to tell sometimes because the way I have my lights turned down in here to try to minimize glare. Lid, so we don't put our hand in that. All right, that go for a minute and let's start putting this little bit together. Some of these things out of the way so we can work. Oh, I'm going to use a little liquid glue because I embossed this and I've made texture in the paper now. Yes, so sometimes your liquid glue is your better bet there because it will get into your nooks and crannies and help hold your paper on so that it doesn't fall apart when you send it. Always a good thing, right? Oop, upside down, girl. Get that centered into our Poppy Parade base. Get those edges down there where they're embossed. Cool beans. Oh, and I guess we will put his little feet on him. Why not? I stamped them and cut them. I may as well use them. So I'll just use a little bit of, ooh, my glue's all weird. What is that? I just went on Amazon to see if I could find those little fine tip glue bottles, since I know I'm going to need some of those, and I did, so I need to get those ordered. A little high there. Looks like he's sitting on his belly. Good, 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 good. It's because this isn't a good pin that I have in there. But got to plug up the hole so my glue doesn't dry up. So how's the weather where you are? I know some people are getting snow. Our skies were real cloudy just a little bit ago here. Now they're all, well, actually if I look, oh my gosh. No, if I look out the east window, they're blue skies with beautiful white puffy clouds. And if I look out the southern window, it's really gray and dreary. I think I'll just keep looking east. Could have added some dimensionals to that too, if you like. I'm going to pop this stuff up a little bit and give it some more dimension. Always a fun thing. Now, let me see if, now that I've stuck my hand in that glue, if that dried on there, because, yep, I think so. Because here's what else we can do. We can take those little flowers and just use the end of our, here, take your pick tool. Now, I don't know how it's going to work on here because this isn't cardstock. And give it a little dimension. I don't know if I like that on there. With cardstock, it works much easier. I will demonstrate that for you so I can show you. Here's a little piece of yellow. Here, a little yellow. And if you take your cardstock and just press into it on your mat, it breaks the fibers of the paper up and you can get a little bit of dimension. Excuse me, but since this isn't cardstock, that kind of looks more like a fold than a curl. I don't think I'll use that. I think we'll just do them flat. That's okay too. Okay by me? Oh, good Lord. Will it ever end? All the sneezing and coughing. Probably not. Right? Winter's right around the corner, so it's bound to get worse before it gets better. Okay, yay. That. Now, I just want to put a flag end on this piece of Poppy Parade and add it to the front of the card. And so I'm going to cut this over here a little bit. I don't really know how far I need it to be. And somewhere around here. Ooh, I have it. I have my little punch. And I can line this up so that the V part of my punch is in the center of my strip. And look at the little flag it cut on the end. That's for those of us who aren't always very accurate at cutting straight. If you don't have that, and you have the end of your paper and you want to make a flag, you can cut a snip up the center of your rectangle, and then from the one corner cut to your center, and from the other corner to your center, and you can still flag it. But for me, since I have that punch just laying there waiting to be used, that's what we're doing. This one I think I will put on some dimensional, just for fun. So you can see where when we change this up, and I think I'll probably do more of a bluish background or a snowy looking background, you know, that I can use my snowflake embossing folder with. And we'll use pine branches on the bottom and add a Christmas greeting. You can see how easy this can be changed up to be a Christmas card. Whoa, that'd be nice if I put it on straight, right? There we go. But if you don't want to make it into a Christmas card, then don't. There you go. Yay? Okay, that's it. So the link to this Stampin' die set will be in the description box below the video. And I thank y'all for just spending some time with me today. And I will be back on Friday and share another card with you. So until then, have a lovely week, everybody. Thanks. Bye.